I'm searching for an apprentice. Someone to train in the art of righteous warfare. Someone to carry my shield, my name, and my crusade after I fall in battle.
This is the full story of the confirmed, tragic, untold fate of the Crusader, one of the 7 heroes present during the events of Diablo 3. The Crusader's official fate and legacy is discovered in the side quest, Remnants of Faith in Diablo 4, which we will be exploring in full in this video. When entering the Zabenzet region town of Umir Plateau, we stop a spell in the inn to the west, overhearing the plight of some local crusaders gathered there.
You can't be serious, Tomiris. Morgan's Folly is lost, in ruins. Going back is...
This isn't like before. This isn't for the fort, for Akarat. Surely you understand that.
As the bulk of the Crusaders down their ale to drown their apparent sorrows, we turn to the nearby Tomiris, inquiring, "You wish to travel to Morgan's Folly? Your friends here seem to think it's dangerous."
Truthfully, no. Morgan's Folly is a stain on the Zakarum's history and a reminder of my own mistakes. But I must return to collect my master's armor. Without her armor, I cannot continue her name. I cannot be a Crusader. Her name dies, and everything she fought for dies with it.
Something terrible must stay your ally's hand. What happened at Morgan's Folly?
You're clearly not from around here. Morgan's Folly is a Zakarum fort, lost to brigands in the swamp generations ago. My master, Johanna, gathered a group of Crusaders to take it back, to begin our trek back into the swamp in search of Akarat. But it didn't go as they had hoped. Some returned wounded. Some, like my master, did not return at all. Their armor and their legacy slowly rusting.
Why won't the Crusaders help you if this armor is so vital to your crusade?
Why indeed are the supposed mighty champions of light to chicken shit to aid me in recovering the bodies from Morgan's Folly?
Tomiris, you know it is not that simple. We all mourn the lost, but we cannot risk the safety of more people.
Why add more bodies? No. Enough of our blood was spilt.
You sit here wallowing in a puddle of ale and self-pity. Maybe you've convinced yourself of your excuses, but they sound just like cowardice.
Understanding the Crusaders' need to quell casualties and Tomiris being bound by honor, we inform. I can help you get to Morgan's Folly.
You would risk the dangers of the swamp? For a stranger, no less. It seems the light does still shine, even in the swamps of Hawazar. Though I would not need the kindness of a stranger if the Zakarum Crusaders had any fight left in them.
Please, be cautious, Tomiris.
There is a bridge leading into the wetlands. Meet me there. I must go ready myself. I cannot thank you enough for this, stranger. Truly, thank you.
The quest, Remnants of Faith, then begins in earnest, and Tomiris, true to her word, marches out of the inn, and presumably to this broken bridge. Once ready, we follow on horseback through the misty morass to the east, dodging all manner of swarming insects and foul brigands that have made the swamp their home. It's not long until we see, to the east of a rickety wooden bridge, the Zakarum initiate Tomiris kneeling on a diseased embankment. We then ask, "Are you ready to journey to Morgan's Folly?"
I am. Let's be off. My friend Zrinka told me of a shortcut. A broken bridge, but close enough to cross. To the southeast.
We begin our search for the broken bridge to the southeast as guided, with Tomiris in tow. And it's not long before the swamp dredges up some local fauna to colour our crossing. Tomiris then guides.
Over here, to the right. This cliff edge will take us right to the bridge.
True to her word, we scramble down the small cliff to the right, seeing the broken bridge, in which we gingerly hop across a small chasm to hear a shrill scream.
Light, show me mercy!
Morgan's Folly, but be on your guard. This is the farthest I've gotten on my own. This area is plagued by undead.
Before we can search for the folly, we aid the local villagers held hostage by toxic lurkers.
Oh no!
And so we extract the still breathing prey from their silky cocoons, lest they become lunch for the latest batch of freshly hatched spiderlings.
No!
Don't forget this, stranger.
With the webbed hatchery expunged from the murky marsh, we resume our search for Morgan's Folly and Tamiris continues.
We are close. We should be cautious. Morgan's Folly was once a great Zakarum fortress, but since Chaldeum stopped sending aid, it is now filled with deserters and thieves. If it weren't for my master's armor, I wouldn't come back. The swamp can have the ruins.
With that grim assessment, we resolve to surreptitiously pluck her master's kuros from this cursed land without disturbing its new inhabitants. Tamiris, sharing our sentiment, advises.
My master should be nearby, or rather her corpse. If we're lucky, her armor will be untouched and we can leave this place quickly.
Entering the deserted ruins, we find another church has its fanatics take up residence, as we're immediately assaulted by the Church of Light zealots. It seems they too have taken up residence to recruit new captives.
You there! Please! Help!
Freeing all the villagers we can, we notice Tamiris dart off, gasping.
You there! Please help! Wouldn't have made it without you.
Approaching cautiously, we see a trio of dead Crusaders, presumably set upon by the rabble that have claimed the fort as their own. Tamiris stands mournful over what we assume is her master's corpse, and we tentatively ask, "Did you find the armor?"
No. I was worried this may happen. The filth that used these ruins must have stripped her of the armor. We must search for it inside. I knew she couldn't have made it, but seeing her like this, we must find the armor.
Without warning, Tamiris dashes into the depths of the works below, and before following her, we check her master's remains. The effects of death have long set in, her body pale and rigid, her fists are balled, even in death, gripping tightly to her weapon. Using our blood magic abilities, we momentarily delve deep into the Crusader's past, gleaning her past acts as a great asset to her order, and learn she was even present during Malthiel's reign and subsequent downfall.
At 12, I swore the oath, leaving home and family. At 16, I saw my master die. I took up her shield and her name, and on that day, I became a Crusader. Armored by faith, driven by duty, bound to kill the enemies of Zakarum. Sworn to live as a Crusader and to die as one.
It should be noted, Johanna's design varies drastically from the almost white-haired Crusader seen in Reaper of Souls. The reasons for this may be manifold, although the wiki does state that this is the same Crusader as Reaper of Souls. It also says, and quote, "Unlike other heroes representing playable classes, visually, Johanna does not follow the classic phenotype of the in-game Crusader class, having a different face, hair color, and haircut. This is apparently true not only in Heroes of the Storm, going from almost white hair in Diablo 3 to brown, but assuming this is indeed the same Johanna, it's also evident the Diablo 4 devs have taken further liberties with the design aesthetic, giving her a much darker haircut. Wasting no more time, we cautiously follow Tamiris into the dungeon below. Inside, we hear looters bickering among themselves.
Don't tell me to hurry! Damn thing is rusted shut!
You trying to steal from us?
Such a waste. All that blood over a few pieces of gold. On an eastern wall, we discover more prisoners, and Tamiris remarks.
You saved my life.
Heretics have taken prisoners. We must help them. No more innocent blood shall feed these grounds.
Freeing the final prisoner from a lone knight errant,
You're a saint.
we find we have walked into a trap as a gargantuan warmaster cuts swaths through the air at us with his formidable mace. Bound and walled in, we nearly succumb to the onslaught, ironically saved by leveraging the blood of our would-be assailants against them. The very crimson liquid they give up in the name of their holy father, now spun into deadly crystalline shards and flung back at them. On the Warmaster's corpse, we find a defector's note, reading,
I never thought I'd be throwing my lot in with this rabble, but here I am. Maybe I can organize these bandits into something that resembles an effective unit. At least effective enough to allow me an escape when the church eventually finds us.
Plucking the key off his remains, we find the previously barred defector's door now is accessible. Tamiris rushes headlong into danger, obsessed with her prize, just as the new inhabitants of the works seem to defend with their lives.
This is it? Thank the light. We found it.
Once safe, we then ask, is this your master's armor?
Yes, my master's armor. Here like common loot. These fools and thieves have no idea what they have. Today, I leave behind Tamiris. When I don this armor, I continue the name Johanna.
We give Tamiris some privacy to change, and with the master's impressive full plate donned, we greet, welcome, Johanna.
I was worried we would not find it, but it seems the light shines even here. Your help shall not be forgotten. Before I can return to Zarbemzet, I must perform the final rites for my fellow Crusaders that died here. They deserve that at least. I hope to see you again when you are next in Zarbemzet. Travel safe, friend.
With our mission successful, the quest, Remnants of Faith, is now complete. As Johanna leaves, we see she's left us our own boon of sorts. A set of fine Crusader's armor ravaged by time. The outside bears numerous small weathered parchment scrolls scribed with mighty and holy deeds performed by the armor's previous keepers. Although we appreciate the token gesture of goodwill, we opt to stick with our own armor. And, as promised, Johanna has left to perform final rites, and after waiting some time, and we do not find her as we exit Morgan's Folly. Instead, we locate her back at the Zarbenzet Inn, wearing the armor of her master by the helm and staring into the fire. Seeing her safe, we exclaim, Johanna, you made it back safely.
Ah, it's good to see you again. Yes, I am as safe as can be expected in these swamps. I was barely able to give the Crusaders proper rites before the bodies began to turn. It was fortunate that I remembered what my friend Zrinka said about burning bodies. I think Akarat would forgive me for not abiding by all of the proper rituals.
What happened to Morgan's Folly?
Morgan's Folly used to be a Zakarum fort, a foothold for our efforts, but it was lost generations ago. My master, Johanna, gathered a group of Crusaders to take it back. To begin our trek back into the swamp in search of Akarat, but but it didn't go as they had hoped. Some returned, wounded. Some, like my master, did not return at all. If you hadn't helped me, her name would have been lost forever.
What will you do now?
A fair question. One that I myself have been wondering. I see our people struggling. I hear them talking, their faith wavering. I want to help, but I fear that our struggle is in part due to our faith. We refuse to learn, to adapt. You saw Morgan's works. You saw where our faith led us. I hope that our faith can change, as I have, and we can make a home of the swamp. I don't know how, but at least for now, it means having drinks with friends.